For this project, I decided to teach about Japanese colonization of Korea. Two teaching sessions had a pedagogical approach, while the other two had an andragogical approach. Pedagogy tends to be a one-directional teaching method, with a teacher being in front of the class giving a lecture that students are expected to connect to. Andragogy is meant to be a more advanced strategy with collaborative discussion, where the teacher is encouraged to engage with the learners by shaping the lesson to address the learners' specific interests, questions, and concerns. In my project, the lesson outline used for all 4 teaching sessions was basically the same. I introduced the topic, gave a pre-lesson quiz to understand the students' prior background knowledge, gave a lecture that outlined basic aspects of Japanese colonization, followed by a post-lesson quiz to assess how well the students understood the topic and to evaluate my own teaching. The main difference between the 2 different session types depended on how I chose to encourage or integrate the addition of students' own ideas into the lesson. Although I was open to questions and comments during the pedagogical teaching process, I didn't provide time to specifically collaborate with the students. Because of this, I had less of an idea of how to emphasize different points so that I could better relate the lesson to the class members. This seemed to contribute to a more disengaged learning environment. Not as many connections were made by the class to bigger ideas. The post-lesson quiz showed a lack of students understanding the main concepts, and feedback after the lesson indicated that although the lesson was interesting, it was not necessarily impactful. Conversely, in the other 2 sessions where andragogy was applied, there was more active participation. The lesson was more engaging as I tried to answer the students' specific questions and interests. The quiz reflected a well-grounded understanding of the concepts taught, with additional attention to detail. And I received more positive feedback about students feeling like the instruction was useful and applicable to other global historical patterns and current events. I did this project because of my interest in a teaching career and wanting to improve personal communication skills. One of my hopes from this experience was to find a more effective way to make lesser-known historical facts about Korea interesting and relevant to everyday people. Perhaps as an Asian Studies or Korean major, you too have wondered how to convey important ideas about what you study to people that may have never had an interest or background in your field. By applying principles of student-directed teaching, you too can begin to have more collaborative and engaging discussions in these kinds of settings.